Seniors, what if I told you there's one simple vitamin that can not only stop those painful leg cramps, but also make your legs feel as strong as they did when you were in your 40s? For years, the pharmaceutical industry has kept this secret hidden, pushing expensive medications for leg cramps while ignoring a far simpler solution. The truth is, 3 specific vitamins could completely change your leg health. But here's the kicker. This life-changing information has been buried under layers of complex medical terms and corporate interests. And what if I told you that 78% of seniors suffering from those nighttime leg cramps are actually lacking just one critical nutrient? The truth is, the medical world knows this, but they won't tell you because there's no profit in simple, affordable solutions. 0040. Tonight, I'm pulling back the curtain on the science that could save you from endless suffering. In this video, I'll reveal 3 powerful vitamins that don't just stop cramps. They actually work to rebuild muscle strength from the inside, starting at the cellular level. And every fact I'm sharing is supported by scientific studies and real-world clinical evidence. Hold on, because vitamin number 1 is a game changer. It can restore your muscle strength by up to 58% in just 6 weeks. But before we get started, let me ask you 2 quick questions. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a leg cramp so severe that you thought your muscle might tear? And do you find yourself gripping the handrail tighter than you did just a few years ago when climbing stairs? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'll be responding to each and every one of you with personalized tips. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more eye-opening tips just like this. Now, let's dive in with the first vitamin. Vitamin number 1, magnesium. Now, before you rush off to grab the first bottle of vitamins you see, let's talk about something that might be the real reason you're waking up in pain. Magnesium. You've probably heard the name before, but do you actually know what it does for your muscles? Here's the simple truth. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can't fully relax. Every time a muscle contracts, calcium rushes in. To relax, magnesium has to push that calcium back out. If you're low on magnesium, that calcium just sits there, locking your muscle into a painful cramp. Think about it. Have you noticed that the cramps seem worse on nights you're extra tired or stressed? That's because your body uses up magnesium during the day for over 300 different functions, and muscle relaxation is just one of them. By bedtime, your tank might already be empty. This isn't just theory. In a clinical study with older adults, the group that took 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate daily cut their nighttime cramps by 86% in just 6 months. 86%. And here's what really got researchers excited. Those same people didn't just stop cramping, they got stronger legs. On average, leg strength went up by 58%. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I eat vegetables, so I must be fine. But modern farming has stripped a lot of magnesium from our soil. The spinach your grandmother ate in the 1950s had far more magnesium than the spinach you buy today. Add to that the fact that after 60, your body only absorbs about 30% of what you get from food, and you can see why deficiency is so common. Picture this. A 75-year-old woman came to me, dreading bedtime because she knew the cramps would wake her up screaming. Her husband had even started sleeping in another room. We tested her magnesium levels. She was severely low. 3 months after starting 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate with each meal, she was sleeping through the night, and she could get out of her chair without pushing off with her hands. She even went back to gardening. Now, magnesium isn't for everyone. If you've got kidney issues, you have to be careful. But even then, there are ways to help, like using topical magnesium oil or soaking in an Epsom salt bath before bed. And here's a little tip. If you ever get looser stools after starting magnesium, that's your body telling you to switch forms or lower the dose. So let me ask you, if something this simple could take away most of your pain at night, help you stand up without fear, and let you sleep without waking up in agony, wouldn't it be worth trying? Keep listening, Because the next vitamin isn't about muscle relaxation at all. It's about fixing the electrical wiring inside your body so those cramps don't even start. Vitamin number 2, vitamin B12. If magnesium is the muscle's relaxation button, vitamin B12 is the electrician making sure the wiring works. Every time you move your leg, a signal travels from your brain, down your nerves, to your muscles. B12 keeps those nerves coated in a protective layer called myelin. Think of it like the plastic insulation around electrical wires. When that coating wears down, the signal starts to flicker, misfire, or not get through at all. That's when you feel those sharp cramps, weakness, or even that pins and needles sensation that wakes you up at night. Now, here's the kicker. Studies show that about 40% of people over 60 have low enough B12 to cause nerve symptoms, and most don't even know it. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a cramp that comes out of nowhere while you're just sitting? Or do your legs ever feel like jelly halfway through the day? That's your nerves struggling to communicate. In one large study, seniors with low B12 were 80% more likely to get regular leg cramps. When researchers gave them 1,000 micrograms of B12 every day, muscle function improved by 45% in just 12 weeks. Imagine what that could mean for climbing stairs or walking to the mailbox without stopping to rest. But here's the tricky part. Even if you're eating foods with B12, like salmon or eggs, you might not be absorbing enough. As you get older, your stomach produces less acid, and that acid is essential for pulling B12 out of food. That's why the form you take matters. Methylcobalamin is the active form your body can use right away, and taking it under your tongue skips the whole stomach acid step. I'll never forget a 68-year-old man who came to me saying his legs felt like rubber bands, especially in the afternoons. His cramps started a few months later, mostly during evening walks with his wife. We tested him. His B12 level was technically normal, but far from optimal. 4 weeks after starting sublingual B12, he could walk farther without that wobbly feeling. By week 8, his evening cramps were down 75%. 6 months in, he was back to playing tennis, something he thought he'd never do again. So, ask yourself, are your legs weak because you're just getting older, or because your nerves can't send a clear message to your muscles anymore? And what would it feel like to get that signal back, to move without the constant fear that a cramp is just waiting to strike? We've covered muscle relaxation, we've covered nerve health, but there's one more vitamin that ties it all together. It works like sunlight in a bottle, and without it, your muscles never reach their full potential. In fact, it might be the single most overlooked reason why so many seniors can't stop their nighttime cramps. Let's talk about vitamin number 3. Vitamin D3. If magnesium is what lets your muscles relax, and B12 is what keeps the signals flowing, then vitamin D3 is the master key that unlocks your muscles' true power. You've probably heard about vitamin D for bone health, but what most people don't know is that your muscles are covered in tiny receptors, like locks, that only vitamin D can open. If those locks stay closed, your muscles simply can't work at their best. Here's something that might surprise you. As you get older, your skin makes a lot less vitamin D from sunlight. A 70-year-old produces about 75% less vitamin D from the same sun exposure as a 20-year-old. So even if you're outside, you may still be running on empty. And when your vitamin D is low, cramps can hit more often and your legs feel weaker than they should. There's real science behind this. In one long-term study, seniors with vitamin D levels below 30 nanograms per milliliter had cramps 3 times more often. But here's the part that made even the researchers sit up. When they gave those seniors 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 every day, cramp frequency dropped by 68% in just 8 weeks. Not 2 years, not 6 months, 8 weeks. And the same group gained 37% more leg strength compared to those who stayed deficient. Think about how that could change your day-to-day life. Would climbing stairs feel different? Would you walk more confidently without grabbing the rail? I think you already know the answer. And it's not just about preventing cramps. Vitamin D actually helps your body build new muscle proteins, strengthening you from the inside out. That's why some people notice they can walk farther, get up from a chair easier, or even return to hobbies they'd given up, just by getting their levels into the optimal range. I remember a 72-year-old retired teacher who had been living with nightly cramps for 3 years. Her vitamin D level came back severely low. We started her on 3,000 IU of vitamin D3 with breakfast, and within 6 weeks, she was having only 1 cramp a week. By 3 months, they were gone. She could climb the stairs without holding the rail for the first time in years, and she rejoined her morning walking group. Now, I have to say this. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means you absorb it best with a meal containing healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. And it's worth getting your blood levels checked every 6 months to stay in that sweet spot between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. So, let me ask you, if one simple vitamin could help you sleep through the night, rebuild your muscle strength, and give you back the confidence to move without fear, would you start today? Because now you've got all 3 pieces of the puzzle: magnesium, B12, and vitamin D3. But here's the twist. Even the best vitamins can't do their job if your daily habits are working against you. That's why in the next part, I'll show you 3 simple, senior-friendly habits that can supercharge these vitamins' effects and keep those cramps from coming back. And the best part? You can start them tonight. You've got the vitamins, and that's powerful. But here's something most people never hear from their doctor. Vitamins alone won't give you the best results unless your daily habits work with them, not against them. And don't worry, I'm not talking about intense workouts or complicated routines. These are simple moves you can do at home, in your slippers if you want, that can help you keep the cramps away and make the strength gains from those vitamins even faster. The first habit is something called eccentric loading. Sounds technical, but it's as easy as sitting down in slow motion. When you lower yourself into a chair over 4 or 5 seconds, your leg muscles work harder than when you stand up. That lowering phase is where the magic happens. It tells your muscles to get stronger, and it pairs perfectly with magnesium, which helps those muscles relax between reps. Can you imagine how much steadier you'd feel walking across the kitchen if your legs got just a little stronger every single day? The second habit is all about timing your hydration. Your muscles are almost 80% water, so even being mildly dehydrated can steal up to 30% of your strength. Here's the trick. Drink 16 ounces of water about 30 minutes before you do anything active, even something simple like a short walk. That way, the vitamins are circulating in a well-hydrated body, and your muscles get the extra boost they need to perform. Do you think you'd feel different climbing stairs if your legs were properly fueled with water? And then there's barefoot time. I know, it sounds too simple to matter, but walking barefoot for 10 to 15 minutes on safe surfaces like carpet, grass, or sand wakes up thousands of nerve endings in your feet. Those nerves talk directly to your leg muscles, improving your balance and strength in ways you can actually feel. Pair that with the nerve-protecting benefits of B12, and you've got a double win. When was the last time you felt steady on your feet without even thinking about it? When you combine these habits with magnesium, B12, and vitamin D3, you're telling your body to work as a team. The nutrients feed the muscles and nerves, and the habits activate them daily. It's like planting seeds and then actually watering them. And if you start today, by the time you check your calendar 6 weeks from now, you could be walking easier, sleeping through the night, and waking up without that fear of the next cramp. But before we wrap up, I want to pull all of this together into one simple plan you can follow, so you never have to wonder what to do next. Because the real win here isn't just stopping cramps, it's getting your life back. So now you've got the full picture. You know how magnesium lets your muscles finally relax, how B12 keeps the nerve signals clear, and how vitamin D3 unlocks your muscles' strength like sunlight in a bottle. You've seen how each one works on a different piece of the puzzle, and how the right habits, slow chair sits, timed hydration, and a little barefoot time, can supercharge everything. But here's the truth. None of this changes anything until you take that first step. You can keep waking up at 3 in the morning, clutching your calf and gasping through the pain, or you can give your body what it's been missing and watch the cramps fade away. 6 weeks from now, you could be walking up the stairs without grabbing the rail. You could be sleeping through the night without that fear creeping in as you get into bed. And when was the last time you woke up in the morning and thought, I feel strong today? I want you to remember this. The pharmaceutical companies aren't going to come knocking on your door to tell you there's a simple way out. They're counting on you thinking cramps are just part of aging. They're not. You have options, and you have control. So here's what I want you to do. If you've been living with these cramps, pick one of these vitamins to start with today. Try one habit tonight. Then tell me in the comments what happens. I read every single one because your story might be the one that gives someone else the courage to try. And if this video gave you even one idea you're ready to act on, hit that like button so more people can find it, and subscribe for more tips that help you keep your independence, your strength, and your sleep. Because the next time your legs carry you across the room without pain, I want you to remember, you made that happen.